Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, Michael Lefkowitz is a fantastic Sudoku constructor, also known as Juggler, and he recently visited the UK. Not only did he stay with Marty Sears, the great Marty Sears, and visit the great pedaling pianist, he also spent an hour or two in a pub with me, which was great. So we had a good old chat, and he was a delightful fellow, as expected. Now, while he was over here in London, he travelled on the tube, and he's created a puzzle based on a slogan that you come across an awful lot on the tube. It's in announcements, it appears occasionally. It is one of the most controversial, and I'm going to say ridiculous, slogans ever to sort of embed itself in the public consciousness. And it is this: see it, say it, sorted. Now, I have pronounced that very carefully, and if you don't know what that's about, you won't be able to guess from the slogan. It's basically about spotting especially terrorist activity, but troublemakers. And what it suggests you do is, if you see it, something odd happening, that is, then you say it to someone official, like a tube station employee, and then it gets sorted, i.e. resolved. Now, there are so many things wrong with this slogan. It's utterly baffling if you don't spend some time working out what it means. It sounds like it's saying, see it, say it, sort it, which is very incorrect, because you're not meant to sort out the activity yourself. You're meant to report it so somebody else sorts it out. And in a London accent especially, it's very hard to tell sorted from sorted from sort it. It's just the most odd slogan, and it has been going for about at least 8 years, I would say. Anyway, Michael has done a puzzle themed on this slogan, which is fantastic. So he's got CCTV cameras, which are seeing it. He's got speech bubbles, which are saying it. And we have to sort it all out, I guess. It's a lovely idea. Well done, Michael, for managing to encapsulate that weird slogan. He's probably done a Mind the Gap puzzle as well, I would suspect, the other and longer standing famous slogan from the tube. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to giving this a go. Don't forget, on Patreon, if you want some other fantastic challenges, there's the Duality 2-pack by Skunkworks, in which every puzzle features some piece of grid furniture that has 2 roles, hence the duality. It is a masterpiece of puzzles, 15 really tough puzzles. Well, no, really tough's going too far. Really brilliant puzzles, 1 or 2 of them pretty tough. That's all. Honestly, you can get through them. You can do it. And that's on Patreon, along with a lot of other content, although I couldn't get the connections video from yesterday to appear. I'm probably going to have to repost the posting on Patreon, because I don't think anybody's seen it as I record this. But there is a new connections video, but you don't know the link, even for Patreons, unless I repost it, I think. Now, what else have we got? We've got... Actually, I'm just going to point out how admirable is Michael Lefkowitz's art skills to create these cameras. It really is very impressive, by the way. Something that just goes unmentioned because I don't have the skills to even understand how difficult it is to create them. Anyway, sorry, I was going to talk about our apps. Now, yes, Apps Day. Basically, either today, tomorrow, maybe Monday, Fog of War, our newest app, will be out, and it will feature puzzles by some of the most incredible constructors around. We really, really, really hope you will give it a try. There are some fabulous puzzles in there. And if you like this new fog stuff, not everybody does, but almost everybody does. If you like the new fog genre of Sudoku, you will enjoy this app. It's going to be out momentarily. Maybe now, maybe when you see this video. It's not impossible. There'll be links under the video when we can give you them. So that is the newest of our apps. There are 11 other apps, so do check those out. There's also, of course, our merchandise, like my beautiful Knowledge Bomb water bottle, and Sven's SUDOKU pad on links under the video, along with the Discord server, our Snailmail address, all sorts of things. Do check it out. And I am going to try this puzzle now. See it, say it sorted. Somebody moaned yesterday, Michael Anderson, you moaned that I shouldn't just click the restart button at the beginning and pretend that's when my time solving the puzzle begins, given that I'll have read all the notes from the testers and prepared the solution to this puzzle. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. It's not also what happened when I came 21st at the World Sudoku Championship. Do you think they gave me the answers to the puzzles then? I mean, really? It was quite insulting. Anyway, now, sorry, I've clicked the button, but I haven't told you the rules. So I will click the button again in a moment after I've told you the rules. The rules are these. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 goes in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. The first digit on a diagonal seen by a camera, so there's a diagonal seen by a camera. The first digit indicates how many times that digit appears on that diagonal. It's a little bit like a counting circle, but not really. Any leftover digits on the diagonal, the ones not equal to the first digit, are sorted. Oh, that's the sorted in the puzzle. From lowest to highest, i.e. they appear in non-decreasing order, moving away from the camera. That didn't say increasing order, and I suppose as you change boxes, the digits could stay the same. Right, so I'm going to just go through that again. Let's imagine this was a 2. Then on this diagonal there are 2 2s, and the other digits appear in non-decreasing order. So if that was a 6, this one would be 6, 7, 8, or 9. I think that's what this means. And that's it. There's one tiny more rule about the speech bubbles. They all say the same odd digit. So those 3 are the same digit and it happens to be odd. That's it. There's not many cameras. There's very few speech bubbles. There's no digits given in the grid. This is a strange, strange puzzle. Now I'm going to restart again. Sorry, Michael. And let's get cracking. So what on earth is going on there? Right. These, I mean, that was an interesting place to start. The maximum number of repeats on that diagonal is 3, and the same for this one. Oh, that's really strange. This one is a longer diagonal, and yet it has fewer maximum number of repeats. It could only be 2, because you could, whatever digit is repeating, even if it's only repeating once, it can only appear maximum once in each box. So I think this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. And this is bigger. This is bigger. On this I'm going to draw some lines. Let's get the pen tool out and draw some lines. So let's draw one line there. I mean, given the number of cameras here, I don't think this is going to get too busy. And I think this is going to help me see these. It's going to help you see. Oops, that's no good. It's going to help you see them as well. Or you see what look, there we go. One camera has hit another camera. I should have used a different colour for that, but never mind. Let's use grey for this one. Right. Hang on. I don't understand this one. Well, I think, have I misunderstood the whole rule? I might have misunderstood the whole rule. How can you sort the digits on the, so the digits on the pink line, the ones that are not repeat digits of the 4 or whatever it is that is here, They have to be sorted into an ascending order. Well, a non-decreasing. I get it. Oh my goodness, Michael, this is bonkers. This is mad, but I see it. I think I see what's going on. I was absolutely dumbfounded and gobsmacked that there could, well, I literally didn't believe that there could be any way to fill in this line from one direction with a repeat of the same digit and then other digits that didn't decrease. I assumed they would ascend because it's quite a long diagonal. But from the other direction, it's exactly the same problem. You can choose another digit here. Oh, well, now I don't know. I was thinking for a moment it's going to have to be the same digit on both ends. Now I'm just utterly confused. How many boxes does pink go through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this digit is 4 or 5. I'm going to assume for the moment that I haven't misunderstood the rule and see if I can work this out using lots of repeats. Now I think there is a maximum of 3 repeats on this line, three possible digits that can appear on it. There's whatever digit appears here, there's whatever digit appears here, and there's whatever is the leftover digits, I think, are made of the same digit, so it doesn't have to increase. But I don't understand what's happening yet. I mean, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 as well. Now, do these have to be the same? I think maybe they do, but I'm not sure why. Do they have to be the same? Sorry, this is burning my brain out. If this was a 1 or, say this was a 2 and this was a 4. No, that's no good. That's, well, there can't be another leftover digit because the 2s will count as leftovers from the 4 direction. Do you see, if I was putting 4s in those cells, say, and there were 2 2s on the line, those 2s would be left over from the top direction. They don't get a free pass because there's a camera on the other end. And they could only be built up into the line going that way if they were the only digit that appeared. Yes, and if this is different from 4, say this is 2, from that direction 4s are an extra digit. I'm sorry, I'm getting so confused about the possibilities here. Oh, I was also going to say this blue line here has got to be a 1, 2, or 3. Because it only goes through 3 boxes. Same here, 1, 2, or 3. I might as well put those digits in while I go back to thinking about the pink line, which I'm not understanding. Let's say there were 4 4s on this line. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other digits on the line would not be 4s. Could they all be the same? Or do they all have to be the same? They don't have to be the same because the other end of the line could have a digit that does repeat. But then that end of the line is going to see 4s as leftover digits. Oh yeah, and they couldn't be including the last one would be a 4. So all the ones before that would have to be lower numbers. And the 4 looking from this end. Right, I'm now going to say that either these 2 are the same digit and the other digit on the line repeats as many times as needed to complete the line, or these two add up to the full length of the line, so there aren't other digits getting in the way of whatever these two digits are and messing up the sequence. So the line has a length of 8. Well, the only way to have, I hope I've understood this right. I'm probably despairing of making it clear to you, but the problems we are running into here are repeating a digit on this line, but then the leftovers have to ascend from both directions. Now, if that digit is not the same at both ends, even if it is, we're quite constrained, but if it's not, I think both of these digits have to fill the whole line so that you don't run into a problem with other digits that are lower from one end and higher from the other. I suppose you might have a digit that was between the others. No, it won't work. I was just thinking about a 5 up here and a 2 down here. And then the other digit on the line might be a 4, say, in between them. But that won't work because the 2 will be at the end of the line. You would need something smaller, but going the other way. Oh, well, how about a 5 there and a 2 there and a 1 somewhere on the line? 5 5s, 2 2s, and a 1. The reason that won't work, or will it? 1 2 3 4 5 5s there, say. And then a 2 here. No, because the 1 would come amongst the 5s. Yeah, that won't work because the order, the sorting order won't be maintained from both directions. So these either add up to 8 or they are the same number. And actually, if they're 4, if they're 4, that leaves 4 cells that would all be the same number that's not a 4. So if they add up to 8, they're 5 and 3. 5 up here and 3 down here. Now, is it possible for this to be, I don't know which one is more likely, frankly. But this, I think, is either a 4 or a 5 the same as that, or there's a possibility that that's a 5 and that's a 3, and every digit on the line is a 5 or a 3. And I think that would work from both ends. So, if there are 5, gosh, I don't know. Well, yeah, okay. Maybe I can look at the other digits on the line. Maybe that will help me get some traction, because I'm just not understanding how to use this puzzle's clues at all yet. And I'm faffing around 10 minutes in. Right, let's think about it again. If that is a 5, and I think the one I should be able to rule out is this being a 3 and that being a 5. Where would the 5 5s go? They would have to go there, 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 because we need one in this box and it's not the 3 at the end. Now, is there any problem on the other lines? That's the question I'm trying to get to in my head. It's such a strange rule. Oh, that one couldn't be 3. That could only be 2. And every one of the digits on this line in that case would, well, no, I was going to say, isn't every one of the digits on this line 3, 4, or 5 anyway? No, it's absolutely not. If those are both the same, then the leftover digits are one digit repeated, but we don't know which one it is. This is also quite interesting. If that was a 1, The other digits on the line have to increase, well, increase or stay the same as we go away. It's like a slow thermo. One of these two is a 3. Now, that is going to require a 3 in, if that's a 3, that's a 3, and one of those is a 3. If that's a 3, that's a 3. So one of these is always a 3. And then one of those is a 3. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't really tell me anything. I'm sorry, I'm finding this very difficult to make progress with, but I do want to try and understand the puzzle. Started thinking about the long diagonal, the long blue line as well, but if you repeated 3 in all the boxes, you'd only have 6 other digits to fill in, and frankly, you don't even have to increase as you cross from box to box, so you have to increase within a box. I think you'd only get to a minimum of 5 up here. It's no good, that's no use. That's so strange. This rule seemed really strong and powerful, and it's doing almost nothing for me. Or I'm just failing to understand what it's doing. Okay, come on, pink line. What's going on the pink line? If that was 4, this would have to be 4. There would be 4 4s along the line. Oh, hang on. This digit is at least 5. I've finally got that. This yellow line starts with the digit that can't repeat again in its box, and then digits have to increase. So these two are definitely leftover digits, and they can't be 1, 2, or 3 by Sudoku. So for now, let's say, well, 4, 5, 6, or 7. I'm not going up to 8, because that has to be 5, 6, 7, or 8. Now that's very interesting. That has to be 5, 6, 7, or 8, because 2 of these digits will be leftover digits as well. And they could be 8 and 9, but that can't go higher than 8 accordingly. Oh, this is so obvious, but I didn't see it at all. Now, that's on the pink line, and that sort of feels interesting. If that was a 4, it now can't go here. So 4 there, then one of those is a 4. That's definitely a 4. And there's a 4 in one of these, which actually has to be there, because if it's a 4, they do repeat on the ends. And that's odd. The speech bubble is odd. So 4s would definitely be here. The other digits on the line, we're looking the same. They've got to be the same every time. So they've got to be odd. They've got to go through that odd speech bubble. Oh, this is always leftover. This is the rule I should have learned from here. Within the box after which a camera starts, the next digit is always a leftover. This is always a leftover. So it's this digit that is going to repeat a number of times on the pink line. I don't know how many times that is yet. Whoa, can it? So this digit is either that blue digit or the 4 or 5. So either this is a 5 and that's a 5 and that's a 5. Or if this is a 4, this is the other repeating digit on the line, and it's the same in the blue cell, and it's the same there, so it's 5 or 7. If that's a 4, these are all 5 or 7. And we've got then 4s there, 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 and on the end of the line, and that would be the same 5 or 7. Right, in that case, those 4 would all be the same. and it would be the same in the speech bubble places, and that would be the same digit. Oh look, it would have to be here because it's 5 or 7, and that is no good on the yellow line because these can't be the same because there are at least 2 leftovers on this part of the line, so we have to ascend. Wow, okay, well that'll do it, but it's bloomin' complicated, Michael. Bloomin' complicated. I think I have got it sorted now. So what I was saying is if this is 4, these end up being the same digit. And because the speech bubbles are all the same, we end up getting the same digit here, and that breaks the yellow line. So that's a 5. Whoa. And I think this has to be well, this now definitely has to be a 5. That has to be a 5. We've got to get 5 into 5 boxes on this line. One of those 2 is a 5. Oh, it can't be the speech bubble because that's not allowed to be 5 anymore. So it's there. I hope this gets a bit easier now. One of those 2 is 5. Now, I'm not ruling out that this is 3 and repeating 3 times, which would be very interesting. This is blue, so all of these are blue, so maybe I can colour blues a bit more. Yes, no, because blue could be 3 at the moment and could go there. I don't think this digit can be anything other. Well, maybe it could still be 1. Okay, it's odd. We know it's odd because blue is a speech bubble and is odd. Oh, and it's not 5, so it's there in box 2, in one of those positions in box 8, in one of those 2 positions in box 4, and I rather think it's not there, but I don't know that. One of those 3 positions in box 6, and one of these 4 positions in box 9, the blue cell, the repeating speech bubble figure. I was going to say it's not there, but I don't know that. Now I've got 4 of the 5s. Can this be a 3? That would be a 3, that would be a 3. 3 would be the blue digit. No, because blue would be a 3 and it's seeing a 1, 2, 3 triple. That can't be a 3, that's a 5. And that's not. And now this is blue because it's repeating on the line. Right, that's really good. Now I can get rid of lots of blue cells, and that actually completes the blues. Now it's not there as I expected, it's there. It's an odd digit. Now it's not small. Look at this. This is a 4 because 5 is a leftover on the yellow line. That's a 4. That's 5. Oh, that's really odd. 5 is not the blue digit, so I could sketch in some 5s as well. That is, well, I can write in 5 in box 3. 5 in one of those 2 digits. Oh, I get to think about the other lines finally in a moment. That's going to be quite an exciting moment. This is a leftover digit, by the way, on this blue line, and it's at least a 6. So now that can't be a leftover digit. They have to be the same, and they're not 1. They're either 2 or 3. This is a leftover digit, and it's at least as high as that. So 6, 7, 8, or 9. Does this have to repeat on the line? Not certainly, to my knowledge. Now, back to thinking about blue. Blue is either a repeat digit on this line, in which case it's odd. It can't be a 1, because 1 can't repeat on the line, but it's odd, so it would have to be a 3. Or it's a leftover digit on this line. And it can't be a 1 because it's in this box and it's 7 or 9. Sorry, it's so obvious. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that box. So blue is always 7 or 9. So it's a leftover digit here, and it's on this orange, and it's remarkably high. So if there are any other leftover digits on the line, and there don't have to be, they are at least 7. If that's a 1, this is 8 or 9, that's 8 or 9. Then the blue would be a 7. Okay, I've got... Oh, what happened to the blue line here? Have I made that cell white or something and obscured the line? What happened to the line? I'm so surprised. Has that always been missing? Did I somehow not connect that line up? I don't know. I've only just seen it's missing. Anyway, let's ignore that because I'm trying to focus. That is not a 3. So the 3 in this box is now in one of those cells. So the 3 in box 3 is in one of those two. I mean, I'm sure this isn't going to come down to suddenly Sudoku at the moment. I think we still have a lot of work to do with the see it parts of the puzzle. We've done quite a lot with the say it part and a bit with the sorted. So now, is this digit going to repeat, or is it a 1? Or is that a 1? This is 2 or 3 and definitely repeats there. I might as well colour those as well. It might repeat here if it's a 3. One of these two is a 3 and repeats here. And then that 3 repeats in one of these two cells. And the 2, oh well, the 2 could be any one of those. So all I know is it repeats, yeah, somewhere in that group of cells. That's not any use. Oh, I suppose the 1 mustn't, oh, it just mustn't repeat on its own line. Okay, now how about this blue line, the long blue line? Is that doing something for us now? It's not going to have any of the blues 7 or 9 on. I don't know. Or, oh, hang on, what's this? Right, this is either a repeating 3 on this shorter, I've really got to recolour this line so I can talk about the different lines. Let's make that a green line. There we go. I should have done that ages ago. Now, on this line, that's either a repeating 3 or it's quite a high digit as a leftover, at least 6. So this is 3, 6, 7, 8 or 9. Now, on this line, for that to be a high digit, we've got to have a higher digit still coming in the box, at least 1. It could be a 3 repeating from there. But that's quite interesting. If this is a 3 repeating there and there, then this now has to be a 3 to excuse that digit appearing. Yeah, it does. And the 3 in box 5 would have to be on the blue line as well and would be there. But this would now have become a 3 on its own. Yeah, that wouldn't, okay, it's quite simple. Right, I mean, it's quite simple, but I hadn't seen it until now. But there is a simple explanation of why this is not a 3 in red. Because if it was, that's a 3 on this new camera and would have to appear in box 7 there, but it would also have to appear in the same column in box 1 on the first camera. So that is not a 3. Red is a 2. This is now where the 3 goes in that original 1, 2, 3 triple, and those two are both 3s. And now we've got actual traction. That's a 1 and does not repeat on its line. So 1's in one of those cells. The 2 has repeated on its line. The 3 has repeated 3 times. This is a 2. One of these 2 cells is a 2 and is red. Only one of them, exactly one of them. And we might be able to use that later. I think this has become a 5, and I can't remember why. Is that Sudoku? Yes, it is. That is a 5. So along this line, the leftovers are 4, 5, 5, and then 6, 7 or 8 here, and 7 or 9 on the end. And that has become a very beautifully behaving line. This is not a 3. Well behaving? Good behaving? Maybe there isn't such a word. Anyway, these must not decrease, so that can't be a 9 anymore. Because yes, so this is now about this line, which has to have one bigger digit than that somewhere. Wow, if I knew this wasn't a 6, we would be really steaming. But I don't know what this is now. We've basically dealt with the yellow line, the green line, the orange line. We've dealt basically with the pink line. We've only begun to deal with the grey line. And the blue is the difficult one, where we're going to have to not descend as we go up it. But I don't know what's repeating. I've got to do Sudoku now. There's really no excuse for putting it off anymore. I don't think I can make much progress doing other things. There really isn't that much else to do unless, as usual, unless I'm missing something quite big and bold. Now, if that was from 6, oh, look, there's a 3 that's not allowed on this line. This is not a 3 down here. This is 1 or 2. And there are only one of its instances there, or 2. Now, this digit couldn't be a 2. This one is either a repeating 2 and the only other repeating 2 on the line, or a high digit that's higher than that. So this is 2, 7, 8, or 9. Now it can't be 9 because this couldn't be a repeating 2 and must be higher than whichever one of these or both of them. That is a leftover. So that is 7, 8, or 9. And it's not blue. This is such an intricate puzzle. It's so clever. This is typical juggler. Ways of thinking that one just hasn't considered before in Sudoku. I love it. I love it when this happens. I really do. Now, if that was high, we've got a set of 4 high digits here. And we've got a set of 4 high digits here. And if I could just falsify something to do with that. Oh, I almost can. Where can 2 go in this column? It's not... Oh no, I was wrong. I was going to say it's not allowed to be here, but that's not true. I was thinking about this line. No. 2 can go there, there, or there. So no, don't get excited about that, Mark. So if this is a leftover, then if that's a 7, this goes 6, 8, 9. If that's a 9, this goes 6, 7, 8. I mean, I'm literally one break-in away here. That 1 has to be in one of these cells in box 1. Bit of Sudoku, maybe. Always a bit of a treat. Is there any way of ruling 1 out of there? Then it would put 1 in one of those cells. I don't think that's useful. Do I have to think about this line expanding as we go down? I really doubt it. I know only one of those is a 2 and the other digits have to get bigger or not smaller, but I don't see how to use that. It's so interesting, but I'm really struggling now. I bet there's a way to prove this is a 2. If that was a 1, then we're at least 2, 3, 4, 6. And that won't work. Right, if this is a 1, yes, it doesn't work because of this cell not being able to be a 4, I think. So if that was a 1, then minimum here is 2, minimum here is 3, minimum here is 3, minimum here is suddenly not 4 but is 6, minimum here is 7, and that's going to cause a problem here. Minimum here is 7, 8, 9, and that's going to break that cell. Wow. So for that reason, this is a 2. Now, I'm terrified and scared that that is not going to help. Because all that, no, I can still maybe do something with these minima as we go up. So let's start with 1, 3 or 4 there. Then we have to get bigger, 3, 4 or 6 there. I don't think 6 is going to work. It is useful having 5 ruled out of everywhere else on this line. That is useful. Now this, we will say 3, 4 or 6 again. 4, 6 or 7. Not 4 here because it sees that 4. That's very useful. 6 or 7 here. No, but I've forgotten 2, haven't I? 2 is going to repeat somewhere, so that could be 2. Then this can be 3 in the middle. Oh, that's annoying. In fact, maybe that's what's going to have to happen. Right. Let's imagine that this wasn't a 2. Okay, let's take out the pencil marks there. Let's imagine that that's not a 2. Well, actually, I think that's going to be a 2. But if this is not a 2, this is at least 1. This is at least 3. This is at least 3. This becomes at least 6. This is at least 7. We're going to have, well, I'm assuming that that's not a 2. Then this is at least 7, but that can now be 2. Oh, I haven't got it done quite. There do seem very different ways of operating depending on where the extra 2 on the line goes. So I am going to go back to pencil marking. Or maybe I just need to think about this line better. It's such an interesting puzzle. I love this, but it's so confusing. Okay, I've only got this line to go on. So I'm going to put in 1, 3, 4. Well, do I need to add 6? Let's go mad and add 6 for now. Then this is bigger. 3, 4, 6 or 7. Now this could be a repeated 2. So 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7. I think the number of high-end pencil marks I'm giving this is crazy. This can't be a repeated 2 and it can't be a 4. So if we'd got up to 3 there and then that was a 2, this could be a 3 again. That is the problem. I think that is my main problem, or possibly my actual solution. I'm going to put 3, 6 or 7 there. I'm even going to add 8, because why couldn't you go 8, 2, 8, 2, 9? Okay, the reason you couldn't do that is that would use too many 2s on the line, so that can't be 8. This one now has to be bigger than this, but 4 has been thrown in as a possible. So this, I'm going to say 4, 6, 7 or 8. Because 8 there does work, because then you can go 8, 2, 9 up here. And this is very frustrating because I haven't managed to eliminate the things I thought I would be able to eliminate. That's not a 1. There is a 1 somewhere there. This is, I mean, imagine if just a bit of ordinary Sudoku was doing this the whole time and I couldn't see it. You probably won't have to imagine that if it is what is going on. 2 in this box is already confined. 2 can't be there because one of those is a 2. So 2 in row 7 is, or in box 7, is definitely in one of those positions. Oh look, where's 2 in box 1? It is Sudoku. Because it can't be there on the green line, it has to be here. Oh, and I even coloured it red. That was trying to help. So that's where 2 has to be based on what I just did in box 7. That is now not a 2 because it's on this line which only has 2 repeats. Now, so it's definitely 2 here. Keeping colouring it red, that's a 2. Ah, twos, you were the secret to this puzzle. And I could not see you. Okay, so now this is not a 2, and that's really important because we could go, well, these have to ascend. So that's not a 3 anymore. That's where I wanted to get to. That's not a 7 either. That's not a 7, that's not a 6. Okay, so I don't think I can do much better than that, but then I get to 6 or 7 here. Now I have to have 7 or 8 here. Now I have to have 7 or 8 here and 8 or 9 here. And now I've got a 7, 8, 9 triple. 7 or 8 there means this can't be 6. That's 7, 8 or 9. That's a triple here as well. It might be that this is unwinding the blue digit. I don't see how yet. 6, 7, 8 there. Gosh. 7, 8 or 9. Okay, 7, 8, 9. The other digits in the box are 1, 4 and 6. Is that any use? I doubt it. This grey line where we now know where the leftovers are, it doesn't look very helpful, does it? I mean, that could be a 1 and that could be a 1. It doesn't really get anything done. Have we? And that 2 stopped all those quadruples forming, so I don't have those. Oh, there's still work to do, but it's what we just discovered is it probably is Sudoku. So it was just placing 2 in box 1 was the step I was missing. If that was 6, this would be 7, 8, 9. I don't know what that does. For this to be 7, then you've got 9 in the blue cells. That goes 7, 6, something lower. No, I don't know. Do I colour the other 8s and 9s from the 7, 8, 9 in box 1 and just see what happens? It doesn't feel very powerful. Oh, is this a little issue? Or that? As a sort of weird triangle where this can't be lower than that. I think that might take 7 out of here. Yeah, it does. If you had 7 in here, that would be an 8 by Sudoku, but that would then be an 8 on its blue line and break the green line. So that's not a 7. Is that any use at all? Maybe I can take 8 out of this cell. If that was an 8, that's a 7. No, that works the other way. That's the other way round. That's so strange. If that's an 8, that's an 8. And this is a 7, and that works fine. Oh, so strange. Oh, I just got a 7 out of that cell. That's all I achieved there. Okay, if this was a 9, we would have 7 in the blue cells. That would be 8. This would become 6. 7 in the blue cells. Let's try and falsify 7 in the blue cells. Eight, 9. I don't know. I can't seem to do it. It's probably right, therefore. Goodness gracious. So we're not finished at all. Oh, Lord. Maybe I could eliminate 6 from... I don't see how it would help if I could eliminate 6 from this. I think there's a fair chance I could. But it might be slightly complicated. Five, 3, 2, 1. So in the top row, there is one of 4 or 6 there. In this row, no. This is the row with the 7, 8, 9 triple in. So that is 4 or 6. These include 1, 2, and either 4 or 6. So 3 and 8 are confined here. So 1 in box 5 is now in one of those cells. That doesn't feel powerful. If that's an 8, this goes 7, 9, 6, 4, 3. And then these would be a 1 and an 8. If that's a 9, this is 7, 8. Oh, 7 is always in one of those 2 cells in this row, so that's 6 in the middle box. Right, that does get 6 out of row 6, column 6, and out of there, that's not a 4 now. Okay, that has become a 4 since we got the 6, and that's a 3, and that's a 3, and that's a 1, and most of this line is done now. Oh, it's just Sudoku at the end of the day, or well, it's Sudoku all connected up with the whole fun bunch. Right, this is bigger than that. And now it can't be 7 because that would be 8. So the blue cell has become 9. The say it cell is a 9. Right, now we're away. That's an 8. That's a 7. This is 8 in the corner, and therefore that's 7 on the blue line. The blue line, the long blue line is finished. This is not allowed to be an 8 anymore. That's not allowed to be 9 or 7. That's 8. Got a 6, 7 pair. That makes this a 1. 1, 2, 9. This is a 3. Oh, what am I? I'm in the wrong mode. Sorry. That makes this a 3, 8 pair. 3, 8, 5, 9, 1, 2. These are from 4, 6, 7. This has become a 7. That yellow line is all fine. It all works. Got a 1, 4, 6 triple. I'm going to use the grey line maybe in a moment. That would be quite exciting. Oh, no, look. Got a 1, 4, 6 triple in that column. So this is a 3, 8 pair. 1 is in one of those cells. 3, 8, 2, 9, 1. Okay. I mean, there's nothing to use there. This is a 1, 8 pair. I can fill them in. The central box is finished. That gives me a 1 here. Now, that is useful on this line, perhaps. That is 4 or 6, and this has to be at least that. And we've got a 6 up there now. This is 1 and 4. We know the order. So that has to be a 4 on that grey line. This one is higher than 4, but it sees 6, 8, and 9, so it's 5 or 7. I mean, it wasn't quite as useless as it looked. This is a 1, 6 pair. We know the order. This is a 7, naked 7s, flanked by a 4, 5 pair. That's a 6. That's a 4. There's no 4 up here. Oh, the relief as you kind of get through most of a puzzle. This hard, this clever, this innovative. That's a 1, 2, 6 group. That's not a 1, that's not a 2. That is a 4, 3 pair. I can't see how to resolve them. 8, 7 pair. Can't see how to do that. That is a naked 3. It sees 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 in the column, 5, 7 in the row. It's a naked 3. Now I can finish row 8 with a 6. And that gives me a 1, 2 pair in this column. That's probably going to be slightly useful. Oh no, I'm just doing Sudoku now. Well, I've mis-pencil marked this row. Let's get that right. 2, 1. Okay, that's all right. 4, 3, 1, 6, 2, 1, 2, 4, That 7, 8 is still weirdly not done. That's a 7 or an 8 too. 6 and 8 in column 6. I mean, this is vaguely miraculous, this setup. 4, that's a 4. This is 7 or 8. Now, I presume I don't have a deadly pattern going on. 5. Oh, 5? Yes, sorry, 4, well, I don't have a deadly pattern. 4 is looking at 5. That makes this 7 and 5. 7 and 8. 7 and 8. And there we go. Let's get rid of the colouring before we hit finish there. Wow. Okay, it says here, yay, congrats. Thank you for your cooperation. If you see any digits acting odd, report them immediately by dialing the number in the speech bubbles, of course. The number in the speech bubbles is 999, which is the British emergency number, which is probably what you're meant to dial if you see it on the tube, whatever it is. That's fantastic, Michael Lefkowitz. What a puzzle. He has juggled us to an absolute joyous solution there. And that took me a long time, but it was great fun. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.